The stage lights had barely dimmed when chaos erupted. It's the kind of chaos that makes headlines, crashes timelines, and rewrites everything we thought we knew about love, loyalty, and betrayal. Jim Jones, Harlem's dipset legend, hip-hop's unapologetic hustler, wasn't supposed to be a storyline tonight. Chrissy Lampkin, his ride or die for 2 decades, wasn't supposed to be trending for anything other than her signature glam. But then came the bombshell, and unexpected wedding revelation whispered in the wrong ear, caught by the wrong camera, and suddenly the unshakable couple became the biggest spectacle in the industry. What followed backstage wasn't a conversation. It wasn't even an argument. It was an explosion. Jim Jones stormed toward Chrissy, his voice echoing through the corridors like thunder. Crew members scrambling to block cameras, production assistants screaming for security. But it was already too late. The footage kept rolling. What the cameras captured was raw, uncut history in the making. Accusations, betrayal, and a confrontation so emotionally charged that even seasoned industry insiders swore they'd never seen anything like it. Whispers of hidden messages. Secret? Recordings, and Chrissy's wedding bombshell twisted into a narrative darker than anyone expected. Social media lit up instantly. Was Chrissy hiding something? Did Jim already know? Or was this the night decades of loyalty came crashing down in front of the world? Don't blink, don't scroll. Because what happened backstage after Chrissy's revelation didn't just rattle their relationship. It shook the entire culture to its core. The night was supposed to be flawless. A star-studded showcase, celebrities filling the front rows, cameras capturing every second for the world to consume. But when Chrissy Lampkin casually dropped the words "wedding reveal" during a backstage interview, the entire atmosphere changed in an instant. At first, nobody understood. Was it a slip of the tongue, a joke, or a pre-planned publicity stunt? But the look on Jim Jones' face said it all. His jaw tightened, his eyes widened with fury, and his whole demeanor shifted from cool Harlem swagger to a man betrayed on the spot. Witnesses backstage swear. The moment Chrissy made the statement, something about keeping the wedding under wraps until the right time, Jim's hands clenched so tightly that the veins in his arms popped. He didn't smile, didn't laugh it off. Instead, he stormed off camera, leaving Chrissy standing frozen, half smiling, half terrified, as whispers spread like wildfire through the crew. They weren't supposed to know about that, one insider whispered, later leaking to a gossip blog. The deal, the plan, the contract, they had everything mapped out. Chrissy wasn't supposed to spill it. And just like that, the narrative began to twist. Was Chrissy hiding a secret wedding from Jim? Or worse, had she already tied the knot behind his back? The backstage corridors became ground zero for a war nobody expected. Jim's booming voice could be heard echoing down the hall. "What you mean, wedding? What you mean you've been planning without me?" Crew members froze, unsure if they should intervene or just let the cameras capture history. Security rushed in, but the production team, always hungry for drama, kept their cameras rolling, whispering orders to keep it tight, keep it steady, don't miss a second. The confrontation was unlike anything the industry had ever seen. Jim cornered Chrissy near the dressing room, his voice breaking with anger. "I've been loyal to you for decades. I put my life on the line for you, and you drop some bombshell like that on camera." Chrissy, shaking but defiant, shot back. "I did what I had to do. You've been dragging your feet for 20 years, Jim. I wasn't waiting no more." That one line sent shockwaves through everyone within earshot. 20 years of loyalty, 20 years of public proposals, rejections, reconciliations, and now Chrissy admitting she took matters into her own hands. It wasn't just a fight. It was the unraveling of a love story millions of fans had invested in. Social media was already on fire. Crew members had leaked snippets of audio before the fight even ended. One clip, muffled but explosive, caught Jim shouting, "So you married without me? That's what you're telling me? You think that's loyalty?" Within minutes, hashtags like hashtag Jim vs. Chrissy, hashtag Backstage blowup, and hashtag Wedding Bombshell were trending worldwide. But it didn't stop there. Almost immediately, an anonymous account began dropping alleged text messages between Chrissy and an unknown confidant. In one, she allegedly wrote, "He'll never commit. I'm done waiting. I had to do what was best for me." Another read, "The papers are signed. He just don't know yet." The internet went ballistic. Had Chrissy really gone through with a secret marriage, possibly even without Jim's involvement? The betrayal narrative deepened with every passing minute, and fans split into two camps. Some rallied behind Chrissy, praising her for taking control after years of waiting. Others crucified her, calling it the ultimate act of disloyalty. Meanwhile, backstage, chaos reigned. Witnesses say Chrissy broke down in tears, shouting back at Jim, "You left me no choice." But Jim, pacing furiously, allegedly threw his mic to the floor, yelling, "You embarrassed me in front of the world. After everything I'd done for you, this is how you do me." One production insider later confessed, "I thought he was gonna walk out for good. He looked like a man who just had his whole world ripped out from under him." And then came the first physical sign that things were spiraling out of control. Jim reportedly slammed a chair against the wall, sending crew members scrambling for cover. Chrissy sobbed uncontrollably, shouting, "I loved you enough to wait, but I wasn't gonna die waiting." That soundbite, leaked hours later, went viral instantly. Fans looped it on TikTok, setting it to dramatic music, analyzing every word, as if it were lyrics to the most heartbreaking rap song of the year. Memes exploded, with one viral post reading, "20 years of waiting, and she still had to do it herself." But the biggest twist of the night hadn't even surfaced yet. As the fight raged on, an alleged secret recording surfaced online audio that claimed to capture Chrissy on a phone call weeks earlier. In the clip, her voice was calm, almost cold. "If Jim won't make it official, I'll find someone who will." The internet froze. Who is she talking about? Did Chrissy have someone else? Or was it a bluff? A desperate cry from a woman tired of waiting. Theories flew everywhere. Some fans swore she had married Jim in secret without telling him, a legal maneuver to secure her position. Others speculated she had gone as far as marrying someone else entirely. The ambiguity only fueled the fire, and suddenly the backstage blow up wasn't just about loyalty. It was about betrayal, secrets, and the possibility of an entirely hidden life. Celebrity reactions poured in within hours. Love and hip-hop stars chimed in, fanning the flames. Yandy Smith tweeted, "20 years is a long time. Sometimes patience runs out." Erica Mena went live, laughing hysterically, calling Chrissy the ultimate savage. Meanwhile, Fat J, longtime ally of Jim, posted a cryptic Instagram story, "Some things you can't come back from." By dawn, the internet wasn't just talking about a fight. They were dissecting an implosion. Fans demanded answers. Blogs pumped out headlines. And entire Reddit threads were dedicated to uncovering the truth behind Chrissy's wedding bombshell. But as the dust settled from that chaotic night, a darker rumor began to spread. According to one insider, the cameras didn't just capture a fight, they captured a confession. Allegedly, Jim could be heard muttering under his breath, "I knew you was hiding something." The clip hasn't been released yet. But the whispers are enough to suggest there's more to this story than anyone knows. And if those whispers are true, the next leak won't just expose a fight. It'll expose a betrayal that could end this couple forever by the next morning. The fallout from the backstage explosion had spiraled into something far bigger than a simple argument. Every blog, every gossip page, every YouTube channel dedicated to hip-hop culture was blasting the same headline: Jim Jones betrayed, Chrissy's secret wedding shocker. Clips of Jim storming down the backstage hallway, his voice thundering with rage, were replayed on a loop across Twitter, TikTok, and Instagram. The world had seen Jim angry before, but never like this, never shaking, pacing, and shouting like a man whose pride had been shredded in front of cameras. But then came the first major leak that sent fans into full-blown hysteria. An anonymous account dropped a short but devastating video clip, allegedly filmed by a crew member hiding behind a wardrobe backstage. The video showed Chrissy clutching her phone in tears, shouting, "The papers are already signed, Jim." His face turned to stone as he lunged forward, shouting, "Signed? You mean it's done?" The clip ended abruptly, but it was enough. The internet immediately interpreted it as proof that Chrissy had gone behind his back and sealed the deal on a wedding without his consent, or worse, with someone else. Fans scrambled to decode every word. Twitter threads popped up with thousands of comments, some convinced she secretly married Jim but withheld it for leverage, while others swore she was talking about another man entirely. Theories ranged from secret contracts to hidden ceremonies. And hashtags like #signed papers and #who is the groom dominated trending charts. Then, just when the dust seemed to be settling, another bombshell dropped. A gossip blog notorious for digging deep released alleged screenshots of Chrissy's private group chat with friends. One message read, "He'll never change. I had to make the move for me." Another, even more brutal, allegedly said, "I've waited 2 decades. If I didn't do this, I'd never have peace." Fans immediately began to speculate. Was this proof she had indeed moved forward with marriage plans without Jim's blessing? Or were the messages taken out of context to fuel the frenzy? Meanwhile, Jim was spotted leaving the venue hours later, his hood pulled tight over his head, refusing to answer questions. But paparazzi cameras captured him muttering to his entourage, "She played me." That soundbite spread like wildfire, sparking a new wave of think pieces dissecting whether Jim was truly the victim or whether years of hesitation and commitment issues had finally caught up with him. The hip-hop community itself couldn't resist weighing in. Love and hip-hop cast members turned social media into a battlefield. Safari posted a laughing emoji with no caption, which fans took as a jab at Jim. Kimbella fired shots on Instagram, writing, "Some women know their worth, others just wait forever." And then came the most shocking commentary of all 50 Cent, never one to miss a chance to stir the pot, posted an old clip of Jim rapping with the caption, "She waited 20 years. Bro, should have known better." The comment section erupted, dragging both Jim and Chrissy in equal measure. But the chaos didn't end there. Late that night, yet another leak surfaced, this time an audio recording allegedly captured by a stagehand's phone. The audio was muffled but clear enough to ignite pandemonium. In the clip, Chrissy's voice trembled as she screamed, "I had to do it. You left me no choice." Jim's voice roared back, "So you betray me on TV? That's what you do too." The rawness of the argument struck fans like a punch to the chest. It wasn't polished reality TV. Editing it was gritty, unfiltered pain caught in real time. Insiders claimed production crews had strict orders not to release the full footage, but everyone knew it was only a matter of time before more clips made their way online. Some even whispered that producers were deliberately leaking pieces to stir the buzz and secure record-breaking ratings. Whether intentional or not, the effect was nuclear. At this point, the narrative began to shift in ways nobody expected. Old interviews of Chrissy resurfaced where she openly admitted she was tired of waiting for a proposal. Clips of Jim dodging commitment questions on talk shows began circulating, painting a picture of a man who had years to step up but never did. Fans started asking if Chrissy's so-called betrayal was really betrayal or just survival. Still, nothing could prepare the world for what happened next. Early the following day, an anonymous Twitter account dropped a grainy photo allegedly taken at a courthouse weeks earlier. In the picture, a woman who looked eerily like Chrissy stood at a clerk's desk with paperwork in her hand. Standing beside her was a man, but The photo was too blurry to identify. The internet collectively lost its mind. Was it Jim? Was it someone else? Blogs immediately ran with headlines like, "Chrissy married in secret," "Mystery man photo emerges," "Speculation," went into overdrive. Some fans swore the man's build resembled Jim's, while others pointed out his hairstyle didn't match. A few even claimed it was all photoshopped. But the mystery alone was enough to push the story into overdrive. Reddit threads exploded, trying to zoom in on rings, papers, even the background wall for clues. As fans argued online, Chrissy herself broke her silence. She posted a single Instagram story, a black background with the words, "The truth hurts." No context, no explanation, just those 3 words. The internet interpreted it in 1,000 different ways. Some thought she was admitting guilt, while others argued she was pointing the finger at Jim. Either way, the silence between them spoke volumes. And the mystery only grew darker. Then came the most shocking twist of all, one that nobody could have predicted. A leaked voicemail, allegedly from Jim himself, began circulating. In the message, his voice was heavy, almost defeated. "If you wanted it so bad, you could have told me straight. Now I look like a fool. Maybe this is it for us." The rawness of his tone sent chills down fans' spines. This wasn't the bravado of a rapper or the calculated words of a reality star. This was a man crushed under the weight of betrayal. The leak shattered any illusion that the fight was just for show. It was real, it was raw, it was ripping them apart in front of millions. By now, the crew that had witnessed everything backstage was allegedly selling exclusive accounts to gossip outlets. One crew member reportedly told a blog, "What y'all saw on camera was nothing. It was worse. He was broken. She was sobbing." And everyone just stood there, stunned, not knowing whether to stop filming or keep rolling. The entire situation left fans asking one burning question: could Jim and Chrissy's love story survive? This bombsheller had the wedding reveal finally broken them beyond repair. But the cliffhanger wasn't over yet. Just before midnight, the same anonymous account that had leaked the photo and the texts teased one final drop with the caption, "The groom's name will be revealed." The internet froze. Was this confirmation that Chrissy had indeed married someone else? Or was this a cruel trick to keep the drama alive? The countdown to the reveal began, ticking in. The world braced for impact. The countdown ended at midnight. And when the clock hit 0, the entire internet seemed to stop breathing. The anonymous account that had been feeding leaks all week finally dropped the file. They had promised, and it wasn't just a blurry photo or a few vague texts. It was a full-blown video allegedly taken inside a courthouse showing Chrissy standing at the counter with papers in her hands. The camera angle was shaky, likely taken on a phone tucked low. But one detail was undeniable. The man standing next to her was not Jim Jones. Gasps echoed across the digital world. Twitter timelines froze. TikTok exploded with reaction videos. And gossip blogs flooded with screaming headlines: Chrissy's courthouse groom revealed. The footage was grainy, but the outline of the man was clear enough to ignite absolute hysteria. His face was partially obscured by a baseball cap, but when he briefly turned toward the clerk, fans were convinced they recognized him. Within minutes, the name Rich Dallas began trending. Could it be him? The longtime love and hip-hop star, known for his tangled web of relationships and messy business deals, was suddenly being linked to Chrissy Lampkin in the most scandalous way possible. Screenshots of the video flooded every corner of the internet, with fans circling facial features, comparing jawlines, even analyzing the shape of his ears. Some swore it was Rich. Others argued it was someone entirely different. But one thing was clear: if the video was authentic, Chrissy had been keeping a bombshell secret that would make her fight with Jim look tame in comparison. Within hours, Jim's name shot to the very top of trending charts with hashtags like #JimPlayed, #ChrissyExposed. and hashtag Backstage betrayal dominating global feeds. Fans posted side-by-side photos of Jim pacing backstage with his veins bulging, next to the courthouse video where Chrissy allegedly stood with another man. The contrast was brutal, and the internet ate it alive. Then, like clockwork, another leak surfaced, this time in the form of an audio recording. The voice was allegedly Jim's, recorded after he left the venue that night. His words were slurred, heavy with frustration. All these years, and that's how she do me? Behind my back, if this is what it is, then it's war. The rawness of his voice, the fury boiling beneath the surface, was enough to set social media on fire once again. And while Jim stayed silent publicly, his circle didn't. A close friend of his took to Instagram Live, fuming. "Y'all don't know half of it. My man been patient for years. He been loyal, he been down. And this is what he get. Nah, this ain't over. It's just starting." Fans flooded the comments, begging for confirmation, but the live ended abruptly, leaving everyone more desperate than ever for answers. Meanwhile, Chrissy's silent. The hip-hop world couldn't resist piling on. Remy Ma posted a photo with the caption, "Loyalty is priceless. Protect it." Fans immediately tied it to Chrissy's situation, reading it as a thinly veiled shot. Meanwhile, Yandy Smith, never one to stay quiet, posted a cryptic video, laughing with friends, saying, "Somebody's always got a secret wedding. Ain't that something?" That clip alone sparked tens of thousands of comments accusing her of shading Chrissy. But it was Cameron, Jim's longtime collaborator, who dropped the most brutal response. He went live, sipping from a red cup, shaking his head with a smirk. "I told y'all before, some women play games you can't come back from. My bro hurting right now, but he gonna bounce back. As for her, that's her L forever." The internet erupted, with fans arguing over whether Cam was defending Jim or exploiting the moment for clout. Still, the biggest twist hadn't dropped yet. Late that night, the anonymous account struck again, posting what they called the uncut courthouse clip. This extended footage showed Chrissy signing documents, the alleged groom's face finally turning fully toward the camera. The internet collectively gasped. It wasn't Rich Dollaz after all. Instead, it looked eerily like a man from outside the love and hip-hop world, someone tied to real estate dealings in New Jersey. Blogs quickly dug up old photos of Chrissy allegedly attending property auctions with him, fueling theories that she had been hiding a relationship for months under the guise of business. The revelation detonated like a nuclear bomb. Fans now had two competing narratives. Was Chrissy's courthouse appearance truly about marriage? Or was it a legal business partnership being twisted into scandal? And if it was business, why had she kept it hidden from Jimond? Why was her reaction backstage so emotional? Jim's supporters refused to buy the business explanation. Old clips resurfaced from earlier seasons of Love and Hip Hop, where Chrissy complained about waiting years for commitment. With fans now stitching those moments next to the courthouse video, arguing that she had finally snapped. The narrative was brutal after decades of waiting. She allegedly took matters into her own hands, and Jim was left blindsided. But Chrissy's defenders pushed back, arguing that Jim had dragged his feet too long. 20 years and no marriage. What did y'all expect? One viral tweet read, amassing 200,000 likes. Others claimed Jim's anger wasn't about betrayal, but about losing control of a story. He thought he had power over Dut, and then came the final gut punch. An insider leak allegedly from production claimed that the cameras backstage had captured an even darker moment that had not yet been released. According to whispers, Jim had slammed his hand against a wall so hard that crew members thought it might break. It wasn't just yelling, the source claimed. It was heartbreak. Pure heartbreak. Blogs immediately ran with the story, painting him as the ultimate tragic figure. A man betrayed in real time while millions watched. The cliffhanger grew unbearable. Fans flooded the anonymous account with demands for the full footage, threatening to boycott if they didn't drop it. Rumors spread that VH1 executives were in panic mode, trying to suppress the leaks to save the reunion special they had already scheduled. Others claimed the network was secretly fueling the chaos, knowing it would guarantee record-breaking ratings. By the end of the week, the internet was divided into warring camps: #Team Jim versus #Team Chrissy, convinced they held the truth. One side painted Jim as the loyal soldier betrayed by the woman he stood by for decades. The other side saw Chrissy as the woman who finally took her life into her own hands after years of waiting. The truth, buried beneath leaks, clips, and speculation, remained maddeningly unclear. But everyone agreed on one thing: the love story of Jim Jones and Chrissy Lampkin, once hailed as one of hip-hop's strongest bonds, had been shattered in the most public, humiliating way possible. And as the anonymous account teased one final leak proof that will end the debate forever, the world braced itself for the final bombshell. Would the last tape prove Chrissy guilty of betrayal? Or would it expose Jim as the villain in disguise? The countdown was already livened when it hit 0. There would be no going back. And there you have it, the kind of chaos that doesn't just break the internet. It rewrites hip-hop history. Jim Jones and Chrissy Lampkin, a couple we once thought was unshakable, are now dangling over the edge of complete destruction. From courthouse leaks to backstage meltdowns, from cryptic posts to anonymous countdowns, this is no longer just a love story, it's a battlefield. And the scariest part? The so-called final leak is still out there, waiting to drop. And when it does, it won't just settle the debate, it could bury one of them forever. So now it's up to you. Where do you stand? Are you riding with Jim, the man left humiliated after decades of loyalty? Or are you with Chrissy, the woman who may have finally snapped after waiting too long for a ring? Or do you believe the truth is even darker, hiding in those last unreleased tapes? Drop your take in the comments right now. Don't hold back, because your opinion could be the one that tips this entire war. Smash that like button so more people see the truth and join the debate. And most importantly, hit subscribe and turn on all notifications. Because the second that final leak hits, we'll be here breaking it down before anyone else. Miss it? And you'll be left in the dark while the rest of the world is already screaming. This isn't just gossip's history unfolding. Don't just watch it happen. Be part of it.